Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lola and if you're new here, this is my channel. Yay! And today's video is gonna be inviting you to explore yourself. My information, my points of view, and overall how I help myself. If you're interested, make sure that you keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The four main ideas that I want to tackle today are identifying the self, the power of the self and community, and helping yourself. So I took some notes just to make sure that I hit the most important things and that I don't run this video too long. All this in this video is going to be my opinion based from me and my experience. So I want to start off by identifying the self and what that means, like what really is the self. For me, the self is everything. Our physical self, our emotional self, and our mental self. Our physical self being our physical self, you know, your features, your fingerprints, like who you physically are. Your visual perspective, like what you visually see, the colors and the dimensions and angles and all of that, and as well as the actions we take. That is also part of our physical self. Then we have our emotional self, which is the feelings that drive those actions. So we're hungry, so we're gonna physically make ourselves something to eat. Our experiences are part of our emotional self. So that's like our trauma, our successes, the way that we internalize things, as well as how we cope. Those are all part of our emotional selves. And then last we have our mental self, which is our ego, our mental perspective. So A plus B equals C, not just what we are seeing. Previous versions of yourself, those also compose your mental self. And the you that people perceive, the different versions of you that live in other people's heads, those tell you a part of you. As much as we don't want to admit, other people's perspectives of ourselves do give us information about the type of people we are. It isn't the complete picture, but it is part of it. And the observer, meaning who we really are. Essentially, we are the observer. We are not even the person inside of our head. We are the person watching the person in our head. And that's the self. Our physical, emotional, our mental self. That is, and everything. It's everything we do. It is everything we feel. It is everything we say. It is everything. And that's what that means. It's because there's so much that composes and comes together to bring who we actually are. And even then, like, that's still up to debate. And then I want to talk about the power of self. Firstly, I kind of asked myself, what is power? And like, yeah, we have the actual definition of power, but to me, in a spiritual sense, power is the untangible quality that someone gains after choosing to accept it. Translating to self-awareness is power, because you're kind of regaining control. So the second that I choose to say, okay, I have power, this is me, I am choosing to take back my actions, I am being self-aware, and I am actively exploring myself and learning about myself and applying all these tools to make the best choices for not only myself but the world. That is power, right? Because you're realizing that is essentially the only power we really have is power over ourselves. We have essentially three selves: physical, mental, and emotional. And you can kind of start picturing and listing the qualities of yourself that you have, or that you wish you had, or that, if you're being transparent, that you do have, that maybe you can work on. Everything has the power that we give it. We are the gods. Kind of going back to that, like, self-awareness and taking back your power, you realize that we each have this power, and that collective power is what makes up our reality. And that essentially is creation, and making things come to fruition is that power, that self-awareness, that active progress towards these goals. All power originates from us. These things, these structures of life that we have no power. The power is only there because we have given it to them. The cops, the fucking taxes, la migra, everything has only the power that we have as humans have given it. And so in the same way, our trauma can work for us because we're giving it that positive power. And again, that kind of ties into perspective. We are taking a positive perspective that is taking away the power of the trauma and putting it on us, whereas vice versa. Subconsciously, our trauma can tear us down. It can weigh on us and make us do things that aren't in our best interest. We are taking away the power because the trauma doesn't have any power. It only has power because we are involved in it, and because we were so emotionally attached to the event that the power was taken from us, essentially. And so when you begin to heal, it's reclaiming that power and it's taking it back. And that's kind of what I mean by everything has the power that you give it. We are the origin of power. That kind of brings me into number 3, self and community. And I really wanted to say that the fabric of life is like a mega genius computer with the perfect algorithm. All of our realities are delicately intertwined, and we all cause and effect are connected structures of life. Once you start really doing spiritual work, you start to release expectations and realize that, again, we are all cause and effect. So you start taking these problems from people and things, and you realize that it's not necessarily that person that's the problem. It's not like, oh, she did me dirty. That's a version of her that I am now learning, and we don't need to be in each other's lives. She's not entitled to be with me. I'm not entitled to be with her. Boom. You lose that structure of right and wrong, because it's not about right and wrong. It is cause and effect. I think that is a more accurate way to view life, is cause and effect. It's not right and wrong. It's cause and effect. Things just are. And it's not necessarily helpful to dwell on what's right and wrong. It's more important to be proactive, to figure out, okay, well, what can we do? What is the issue? Who's being hurt? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do? How can we get better? And doing these things, taking the initiative. I wanted to emphasize that helping yourself is helping others, and helping others is helping yourself, in the way of, what goes around comes around. And that's just hope, right? That's that you hope, because if you extend empathy to somebody else, that maybe one day somebody will extend it to you. That's also science. Love is contagious, right? And so is misery. And the more of it that you produce, whichever it is, the more that it's going to be available to everybody, not just you or not just other people. So the more that you continuously create love, continuously create positive, continuously create connection, continuously create positivity and humanity, the more of it exists for yourself and for other people to tap into. And the more other people tap into it, the more of a cushion you have for yourself. Because essentially we all need people. We are each other's community, right? So the better person the other people are, that's better for me, right? If my mom is an amazing person, shit, I have an amazing mom to go to. If my best friend's an amazing person, I know that I can count on her, right? And vice versa. The better I am, the more I can help other people to help themselves, to help me when I need help. And it's a nice balance, because we also have to be aware that none of this is owed to anybody. It has to come from a place of unconditionality. Like, you have to be unconditional. You have to be unconditional. You have to give unconditionally. And all that takes is a reminder. Right before you're going to do something, remind yourself, I'm doing this unconditionally because no reason that I want to. I do not expect anything. That's all it takes, to remind yourself that that's unconditionality. The key to everything is balance and empathy. And so with everything I say, you have to apply it situationally. And that's with everything you learn. Every spiritual tool, every piece of knowledge that you have, every experience, everything must be applied situationally. You have to be adaptable. You have to be able to differentiate between what works and what doesn't, what will improve you and what won't, what is most effective. What will get you to your goal best? What will make you feel the best? That's important. In doing those things, executing those things with balance and empathy. That is the most important thing, because we can't get lost in expectations of ourselves and images of what it means to succeed, right? It is also the process. To succeed is enjoying the process, right? So it's like you have to continuously do it and apply it. And to end off, I'm rambling now. To end off is lastly helping yourself. Helping yourself does not look like one thing. The goal is to be content, be okay, and slowly inclining. Knowing, exploring, and healing yourself are all great places to start. Love, support, and adaptability are also crucial to growth as well. Looking back at your life, looking back at your actions, writing down things you like, writing down things you hate, writing down things that make you angry, eating things that you love, all that. It's knowing yourself, it's learning, it's healing, it's feeding yourself. I kind of wanted to talk about the self-worth theory a little bit. I am a very logical person. As much as I am spiritual, I do think that we have to have science. We can't just have claims and ideas without proof. Psychology and spirituality have a lot in common. A lot of these things in spirituality actually affect the people that we are and the things that we do. So I kind of just want to touch on the self-worth theory. Self-worth theory says individuals struggle to give their lives meaning by seeking the approval of others, which involves being competent and able and avoiding failure, meaning incompetence, meaning unworthiness. So what we all know is that we all want to be loved. That's what that is. That's what that says, is that we all want to feel supported. And this is because it's science, there's an equation for it. It is P equals A equals W, meaning as humans, our natural equation to happiness is performance equals ability equals worth. Again, self-worth theory. Performance equals ability equals worth. And that's our default, right? That is how our brain works. So again, as children, we have to be taught that that's not true. That our worth is stable regardless of our performance, regardless of our ability. And the problem is that a lot of us as children are not taught that. We're not. In fact, a lot of us as kids, we are reinforced with that performance and ability do determine our worth. And the better things we do, the more valuable we are. And we have to break that. It's about doing it for yourself and learning that it also means holding space for others. So I encourage all of you to really explore yourselves and the type of people that you are and your experiences and what you like and what you don't like. And I also encourage you to realize that everybody has to go through the same process to get to the same place. We all have to self-destruct to reach a point where the only place is up. So again, I want to encourage all of you to explore yourselves and hold space for others who are also doing the same. And if you are at capacity, put yourself second. As much as I do encourage you to always put yourself first, you are player one. If you're at capacity, why not put somebody else first, But you have to know yourself first to know your capacity. So again, explore yourselves, friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I didn't ramble too much, even though I know I did. But I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. I don't know if anybody's still watching. But thank you, and I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you soon. on another video, on my video next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, my babies. Take care. Always with love.